folks, JD here, and today we've got a comparison video, and this comparison video is between the Runcam 3S and my GoPro Hero Session 5. And essentially what I want to see is it worth you spending the extra money getting the GoPro, which is currently retailing at about £150, versus the Runcam 3S, which is slightly larger but is coming in at £79.99. So my thoughts for today were exactly this. We'll have a quick little look over these particular units, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison where I will film exactly the same by quite literally holding both of these cameras at the same time. I'm not going to use any gimbal to stabilize it. It's going to be only the stabilization of the video of the camera hardware itself. And then we'll put it through an audio test where I'll talk through the Runcam and then through the GoPro and vice versa, and then we'll see exactly what we think from there. But essentially what we're going to do first of all is just have a little look at the hardware. So let's start off with the newest one to my collection, which is the 3S. This is by Runcam. It's a 1080p camera, records at 60 frames a second. It does have other options as well, 1080p at 30, 720p as well it records at. And what I like about this is I love that Runcam orange. Now I've used Runcam for many years. I started off in 2016 with the Runcam version 1, which is very grey and almost like a candy bar style recorder. Then I went into the Runcam 2 about a year and a half ago. I bought another Runcam 2 recently, and I've also bought the 3S. I absolutely love them, and I think they're fantastic little cameras for the price. Really good lens on this. This is a little bit fisheye, so it's not as it is wide angle, but not as clear as the GoPro. But the quality is very good as well. And now, when you're using this on your FPV quadcopters or on your cars, what you're going to notice is the horizon, as it's a little bit fisheye, will bowl a little bit. But other than that, I haven't really found any cause for concern with this. The battery's quite mediocre. I mean, if you charge it fully, it's just via the micro USB port there. The battery's internal here. Then once you charge that, you're going to get about an hour to an hour and 40 of recording. Depends on if it's straight recording, if you're starting and stopping it, if you're recording 1080 at 60 frames a second or 1080 at 30. When I was doing this test, I hadn't charged this Runcam properly. I'd only taken it maybe a quarter. I think I was on the last light, and it lasted me about 7 minutes on the last light, which isn't great. But to be fair, what I need this for is just recording my cars, my quads, my racers. So quite literally at any one time, it has to last me the length of a battery, and that's it. So I'm quite happy with the particular battery life of this for my personal use. But for anything else, it is quite short. Now with the GoPro Hero Session 5 here, as you can see, this is very well used. It's about coming up to about maybe 10 months to a year old now. I use it for almost every single video. I standard record in 4K 30 frames a second, although I do actually prefer 1080p at 60 frames. I love that very smoothness of the 60 frames a second. What I like about this is its small form factor. Now side by side, it's not a lot in it, but it's enough, you see. And if I just put them there, you can see depth wise it's not too terrible. Height wise though, you can see it's quite, only a couple of millimetre, but still it makes a difference. Back to back, so you can see the Runcam is not going to fit inside any GoPro housings. So I've 3D printed a few of these housings for myself, which I'll be showing you in the next couple of weeks. Now this particular camera lasts me between an hour and a half and 2 hours of straight recording, which is good for me because every Saturday I go out and I record for 2 to 3 hours straight. So I have this GoPro and I also have my other session as well, which isn't the Session 5, it's just the original session. What I like about this as well is that everything is very compact, but it's easy to access, and the hinge I love. Now there's no hinge on the Runcam, but it may sound quite silly. I've dropped that housing on the floor a couple of times and I've had to root around for it, whereas on a hinge you haven't got to worry about that. USB-C charging, so it does charge extremely quickly. It's very, very lightweight as well. As for weight, how much is in it? So if I just clear some space for a second. So the Runcam 3S, its using weight with the battery is 71 grams, and the GoPro Hero Session 5 is 77, so actually it's a little bit heavier. But I wouldn't have actually said that. If anything, I would have said it went the other way, quite honestly, because the Runcam does feel heavier to me than the GoPro does. The GoPro has a nice little LCD at the top here, just to show you exactly what's going on. So it'll show you 4K, and then it'll revolve around 4K, 30 frames a second, or 1080p, 60 frames a second. It shows you the time you've been recording, and it also shows you a battery level in there as well. Now, I might be lucky enough to turn this on and be able to show you. There we go. So 30 frames a second, battery low, it may cut out anytime. 4K, there's the battery meter, and it's wide angle. So that's my current configuration. As you can see, click one button, turns on, records. This one I believe is dead, unfortunately, but it's pretty it's pretty much the same. Turn on, and then I've set this via the app to automatically record, so it mimics my GoPro. And then likewise, click once to stop recording, click and hold then to turn it off. Turning off is a little bit longer than the GoPro, but still it's not really much that in it, to be honest with you. In this particular video, you're going to notice that I actually have, when I'm using the Runcam audio versus the GoPro audio, there is a little audio sign in the top left and top right window, so you can see which one is actually live. So I hope you like it, and I'll be back with you in a couple of moments. And this may look a little bit strange, but today I want to look at the Runcam 3 and the GoPro Session 5. Now, as I said in my last video, that video was not a comparison. I was just giving you something to look at so you could see whether or not the Runcam was good quality, but it was not a comparison video, as I put in the vid. Now, today this is going to be a bit more of a comparison video, where we're going to be looking at the differences between these two particular cameras, the Runcam, which is recording one half of my face, and the GoPro, which is recording the other. Now, I've set them both as standard to 1080, so they should have the same resolution, so you have the same clarity, the same quality. So one's not recording in 4K and the other one is recording in 1080. They're both at 1080, recording as highest frame rates as they possibly can. So I believe the GoPro, I may have to put an omission in this, but I believe the GoPro is recording at 50 or 60 frames a second, and the Runcam 3 is recording at 60. So that should give us quite a nice little view. Right, okay. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to walk around a bit with these cameras and just have a look and see how they compare next to each other. So now at this point you should be hearing the Runcam audio only, hopefully. Now, what I found about the Runcam audio, it was a little bit tinny. There wasn't really a lot of depth to it. I did have to increase the audio in post quite a lot. And now over to the GoPro. The GoPro's audio, I've always found it to be pretty flawless. Today I'm not running a dead cat on it, which is what I normally do. I'm not running a dead cat on either of them, but I do noticeably see that the GoPro has got a bit more depth to the audio. It also sounds a little bit more appealing. So let's go for a little walk. Let's twist these cameras around and let's go for a little walk and see exactly how this goes. Now, I have not got my gimbal with me today on purpose. I want the cameras to do the work. I want the cameras to do everything that they possibly can do to maybe stabilize this, maybe not stabilize it, but it is purely down to the cameras today, which is why I'm holding them both in my hands here. So hopefully we should be seeing quite nice little video of everything. So we've got, again, I'm just not looking directly at the sun, but I'm allowing a lot more light into the lens just by looking in the sun's near enough direction. If I just pan her around, going away from the sun, you should be able to see that is noticeably different. If I look directly at the sun, now usually with any sort of action cams, the sun is either going to turn out as a black blob, or there's going to be a lot of lens flare, or the sun itself is going to be, the camera is going to, it's going to tone down the video slightly, and it's going to enhance the sun and almost black out everything else around it. But I think what I noticed from the first video I did of the Runcam is that it certainly did look to be quite good quality. I was very happy with it indeed. Now, I'm not trying to say that it's a GoPro killer. I'm not trying to show that the GoPro is, leaps and bounds ahead of the Runcam. But if you are thinking, shall I get the Runcam or shall I get the GoPro? That's what I'm trying to show. So you can either splash out for the GoPro, which currently sits at £150, or you can go for the Runcam 3S, which currently sits at £70. So it's quite a difference in price. Now, as for the quality, I think the quality is quite close, although the colour clarity and the quality is slightly better on the GoPro. It has better depth of field as well. And also, again, as I say, the audio is better on the GoPro. But still, do not discount the Runcam, because that is now my backup camera should anything happen to my GoPros. Okay, so there we have it. So I think, to be perfectly honest with you, it comes down to a couple of things. My take on it is I prefer the GoPro for the colour and the quality, but the Runcam is very light, it's very bright. In fact, I'm going to do a couple of flight reviews with the Runcam and see how it goes. What I don't like about the Runcam is I have to tweak the audio quite a lot to get it to be quite loud. Now, I didn't tweak anything with the audio for the GoPro. I had to tweak the Runcam just to get it to the same level as the GoPro, and then I had to clean it to ensure it was nice and crisp. Whereas with the GoPro, quite literally, I take my video file, I put it into Final Cut Pro, and that's it. I don't have to do anything else with it. The mic is just at well, because it has omnidirectional mics, it's just at a perfect place to pick up voices. Now, that being said as well, I do like the Runcam. When you look at the sun, it doesn't black out everything. You get a little lens flare. I quite think that's quite sweet, to be honest with you, so I'm not too fussed about that. The GoPro, again, does make everything quite dark, but still, it doesn't really matter because you have the quality there with the GoPro. And another thing, you have the reliability of the GoPro as well. Now, my Runcam 2 I have battered beyond all belief, and it's still working, still recording excellent video and audio. So I swear by both of these products. But honestly, for me, it comes down to battery life. The battery life of the GoPro, as I said before the test, is far superior. So therefore, for me, it's always going to be the GoPro. The Runcam is a fantastic backup camera. And it's also a camera that you shouldn't shy away from. If you haven't yet, I would look into it. They are phenomenal. They really, really are. And they're at a fraction of a price. If you're on a budget, even better. Alright then, my friends. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy recording.